What's going on, guys? Welcome back once again for the FIA Nation and Manufacturer Series, respectively. Here today for the third round of both series, starting off once again with the Nations Cup. This time, something a little bit different, not in any type of race car per se. We're actually driving the Ferrari F50, which is not the easiest car to drive, not gonna lie. It's, I don't know, it feels heavy, but at the same time, it does love to slide around a bit, so this does require a little bit of car control, so hopefully we can keep this thing underneath us. I think by memory this was my, what was this? I think this is my second attempt at this race. First one, it went alright, could have gone a lot better, mainly just because I didn't have any track position, and I was up against some pretty quick drivers as well, but decided to come back, try it again later, which is obviously what you're seeing right now. Still have some pretty solid drivers in here, so we're not exactly going to have it easy. That's probably the understatement of the entire video, and it's only just begun. But I feel like as long as we can maybe qualify in the top 5, I think we should have a good shot of winning the race. There we go, finally got the sentence out. So we'll cut on to our flying lap now. It's been pretty decent, not many mistakes. Maybe could have used a bit more road in the first sector, could have been a little bit more aggressive, but the lap has still been pretty decent in its own right. So hopefully this can put us in the top 5. As I said, track position for this race in particular was just, it was mental how much it mattered, because this was just unreal. But a little bit deep into the final corner there, that probably cost us maybe 2/10 or something. Hopefully that doesn't affect us too much. And well, we're about to find out. Down to the line, are we going to end up somewhere near the front? It's only P10. Wow, okay, so not really where I wanted to be, but 4/10 off pole position though. I mean, look at the gap from, what is it, 6 down to us in 10th. It's probably like half a tenth. And that final corner, we probably lost easily 2/10 in there, so we could easily be probably P3 or P4 right now if we just had have nailed that final corner a bit better, and all in all maybe being a tad bit more aggressive throughout the lap. But P10, normally I would say that's not too bad, you know, we should be able to fight from there, but this race in particular, I already knew I wasn't going to win the race unless something happened. From back here, there was just no chance. Everybody was too evenly matched on pace, and we just couldn't make anything work. But we'll head over to the race and see what we can do from P10 on the grid. So let's get into it and find out, shall we? Alright, so here we are on the grid for round 3 of the Nations Cup. Now, one thing that is actually of vital importance, as you can see, we are P10 there, but we're actually not. We're P9. Now, the reason for that is, I think the game froze or kind of broke, and all of us were stuck on a loading screen for about 2 minutes. And I actually had a message from 2 or 3 fellow competitors going, you know, just saying that their screen had frozen. I just said, you know, don't worry, mine's frozen as well. But I think 1 or 2 people left, and then magically the lobby kind of fixed itself, and here we are away racing. So that's a little bit different. So we've already got one free position before the race has even started, so that's helpful. So hopefully we can build on that a little bit more. I'd like to get through some of these guys as quickly as possible, because I definitely feel like I've got the pace for an easy top 5 in this race. I think if I can get in the top 5, I think that's worth maybe 220 points or something like that. So that'll be a reasonable haul of points in the grand scheme of things. It's not great, I know, but it could be worse. But cutting on to the end of lap 1, we're going to try and pick off Corey, a fellow Ferrari driver. There's somebody in the wall over there on the right hand side, and he's actually hit Corey in the right rear quarter there. Almost sent him into us. We give him a bump in the right rear now, and we're getting hit in the right rear. And we do get that done, luckily. So up into P8 now, so another position made. Coming on to lap 2, coming down into left right-hander. We're going to try and send it up the inside of Corey, and I'm not too sure. I don't think I actually touched him there. I felt like he was actually, that was leg, if anything else, whether he just went really deep and slid into the corner. But either way, the end result stays the same. We move up to P7, cutting up to lap 3. We're going to try and move up to P6 now, up the inside, into turn 1. We should get this done, and we do. Nice clean move up the inside. Job done. That's up to P6. Little hit up the backside, but no harm done. And there we go, making reasonable progress at the moment. Probably not great that we got stuck behind Corey for as long as we did. We probably needed to try and be a bit more aggressive and make a move maybe a bit sooner. We should have maybe tried to send it in the final corner maybe at the end of lap 1, but we're still making solid progress anyway at the moment, so I can't be too unhappy. But coming on to the end of lap 5, now we're going to try and go up the inside into the final corner. This is for P5 now. So up into the top 5, just like I said we would. And just like that, job done. That is up into the top 5 in this race. And, so far so good. We're making solid progress, picking them off one by one. And as you can see, there are the leaders right there in front of us. So we're not exactly miles away from the lead of the race at the moment. However, cutting up to lap 12, we haven't really been able to make any inroads. Nothing has really happened. But right at the moment, as I say that, the two guys ahead of us both have penalties. So this is definitely going to spice things up. I think they were going side by side through that left-right section as we come up to the final corner. They've both gone off into the wall. So the BMW has a 3-second time penalty. And the guy ahead of us has a 1.5 second penalty. So we should jump both of these fellas here and get up into the podium positions. And we do, just like that. We didn't even have to work for it. Up into P3, up into the podium positions now. So things have turned around quite quickly for us from what was a pretty bleak qualifying effort, at least from my side anyway. But yeah, up into P3 and going up to the final lap. Unfortunately, we just weren't able to do anything about the top 2. One lap I'd reel them in by maybe 2 or 3 tenths, and the next lap they would take that 2 or 3 tenths back, and the gap was just toing and froing from 4 to 4.5 seconds to the guy in second and the leader as well. So unfortunately didn't have enough left in the tank to try and do anything about winning the race, but we should be safe to come home for P3, and from P10 on the grid I'll definitely take that, even though it was technically P9 I suppose. But anyway, still from midfield I'll definitely take a podium and a pretty solid race. I'm pretty pleased with that. So BMW win the race, followed by Barters in a fellow Ferrari, then ourselves. So 2 Ferraris on the podium, pretty solid, pretty happy with that. It'd be good if it was a manufacturer series, but unfortunately it is not, and we don't have to worry about that right now. But yeah, there we go. P3 in the Nations Cup, 7 positions gained, even though one of them was basically handed to us, so I'll count that anyway. But 210 points, not too bad. But speaking of the manufacturer series, we'll switch gears and head over to Brazil now for round 3 of the manufacturer series. In the Group 3 cars this time for something a little bit different. So hopefully we can have another solid race. Don't think I'll be challenging for the win looking at the competition. But in saying that, I did feel confident that if I could play the right strategy and get some kind of decent track position, I felt like I could definitely have a shot at a podium. Obviously, some familiar names in here, some pretty quick guys as well, so this is definitely going to be a test for us to see just what we are capable of at the moment against what are some of the top players in the Oceania region here on Gran Turismo. So hopefully we can not get left in the dust of all these guys and make something happen. But predictions for qualifying, I just wanted to be in the top 10, to be honest. I wanted to be in the top half of the field, so to speak. And as you can see, coming in with about 3 minutes to go, just did one installation lap, then come in for a new set of tyres. Want to try and set the lap with the lowest amount of fuel to try and give ourselves the best chance of having the lightest car, aka being able to set the fastest lap we possibly can. Got myself with a pretty reasonable fella to follow here, fellow Mercedes driver, and the quickest one of the lot, I might add, Metal Gear. So definitely I felt was a good guy to follow, and it definitely did pay dividends. We've been on a pretty solid lap so far at the moment. We've been able to stay with him fairly well. Middle sector wasn't great, but other than that, this has been a real solid lap that I am actually very happy with. Up to the line, I think this is going to put us near the front, and we go P2 right behind our fellow Mercedes driver. So that was an awesome lap there, and well, safe to say that we certainly picked the right guy to follow. But coming on to the end of qualifying, we get demoted from P2 down to P5, Metal Gear demoted down to P3. But in saying that, we're only 2.5 tenths off pole position, and against some of these guys, I will definitely take that, because that is not easy. I know we had Slipstream from, the quickest Merc driver that there is, but that is still a real solid result. So hopefully we can convert that into a top 5 in the race, but let's go find out, shall we? And let's see just what we can do against some of the top guys in the Oceania region. Alright, so here we are on the grid for the third round of the FIA Manufacturer Series here at Brazil in Group 3 cars. You just see us in the background, there we are, in our beautiful Scott Taylor Motorsport presented Mercedes-Benz. Not really sure why I decided to go with this livery, to be honest. I just liked it ever since I saw it on the track in real life. So I saw that somebody had made one and I just thought, oh well, let's use it. But anyway, let's see what we can do here, shall we? We've got Side Dog in front of us, Metal Gear up there in P3, but lights out and away we go. Hopefully we can maybe try and stick with Metal Gear and follow him through. I know that he is one that I'm definitely counting on to maybe not win the race, but definitely be on the podium. So if we can stick with him and follow him, we might be in with a shout of a podium. But down through the centre S's for the first time, Side Dog gets it completely wrong, and has basically just gifted us a free position up into P4. He's still on our right hand side though, so we got to watch out here. He might try for a switchback, but we get on the brakes and we should maintain P4, and we do. I just wanted to cover off a switchback there from the Toyota, and we have done that. We are starting on soft tyres as well, just another thing to note. But coming on to the end of lap 1, we've caught up to the back of DJ Zeus in the BMW. Interesting name, but anyway, up the inside out of the final corner, far better drive. I think he must be on a harder tyre, as we just plain out-tractioned him there, and we get up into P3 to the end of lap 2 now, and Metal Gear has taken the lead away from ART Noble in the Lexus, currently running in P2, ourselves in P3. Now at this point, We've all started to break away a little bit, us top three. We're just eked away a little bit from the guys behind us, as you can see on the replay cam now. We've got just over a second to the BMW MP4 behind us, but I could definitely tell at the point in time that Metal Gear was not going as fast as what he could. Even I realised that, because I felt like I could go a lot faster if I was at the head of the queue. But Metal Gear peels into the pits. We go to follow him in, but at the last minute I decided to change my mind, but it was way too late by that stage, and we have got a half a second time penalty. Justified, not going to lie, because I did totally ignore track limits and boundaries and what was allowed and everything else, but yeah, I don't even know why I did that, to be honest. At the point in time, at the last minute, I just had a thought that, you know, to tell me, like, stay out, you know, don't come in, stay out, keep going. So I did, and kind of bit me in the arse there a little bit, but hopefully it doesn't come back to bite us too much. Coming on to the end of lap 6, and I am going to respond this time around, and I'm actually going to stay in the pit entry lane, so to speak, into the pits now, onto a set of medium tyres. Now, what I was originally thinking at this point was maybe I could split this race into just 6 laps. 6 laps at the start, 6 laps in the middle, 6 laps at the end, even it out on all 3 tyres, and you know, make it a fairly straightforward race. But as you can see, come out of the pits and not really in the best track position here. We've actually lost a lot of ground to Metal Gear and ART Noble. Now, obviously, crucial thing to note, hold that thought, we're going to try and get back past the Honda, lock the rears. Oh, that was tight. I thought I was going to lose it there, but we held on to it. Now, Noble and Metal Gear currently 1 and 3 on the road, but as far as I'm aware, they just did tyres. They didn't put fuel in. We did. So at the final pit stop, we should just be able to change tyres and be good to go, where they're going to have to sit still for a while and put fuel in. So we could play ourselves back into this later on, but we need to get through some of this traffic. First up is the Renault here on lap 8. We're going to try and sneak it up the inside. We've got a Nissan behind us as well. It's going to try and make it 3 wide. At the time, not going to lie, I felt like that was actually a bit stupid from him there. I don't know why he just didn't follow me through instead of trying to overhaul the pair of us. But coming on a few moments later, I think that was an Aston Martin peeling in the pit, so that now leaves us in P4. But we're going to try and attack the Honda for P3. I didn't know what I wanted to say there. For P3 is what I'm trying to say. There we go. Didn't quite get it done. Couldn't quite get around the outside. We've got a bad run out of the centre S's. Now we've got to watch out for the Nissan behind us. So we're going to try and defend, drive down the middle of the road if we can. He looks left at the last minute. I'll try to cover that off. And I don't know, probably a little bit dodgy from me there. At the point in time, though, I'm not going to lie, I was actually driving with just a tiny bit of anger starting to creep in, because I was annoyed that I had given away so much track position and I couldn't really get it back. So I was slightly annoyed at this point. I say slightly, I was actually very annoyed. But anyway, we're still in a reasonable position at the moment. P4, we got a Nissan still right behind us. As you can see, however, he's got a 2-second time penalty for whatever reason on lap 10. So that kind of relieves the pressure from us for the moment at least. But anyway, cutting on to lap 12, Metal Gear into the pits now for a set of hard tyres. We're going to follow him in 6 laps to the end now on a set of hards. But look at the fuel difference. There's like 32 litres there. He had to fuel up, and look at that, he's right there. Now, he was about 6-7 seconds ahead by the time we come in for our final stop there. But now he's literally 2 seconds up the road. So we've gained 5 seconds on our teammate just in that pit stop alone. So that has paid massive dividends for us. We re-emerge on the track in P4 with DJ Zeus right behind. Now, one other thing that's probably going to be a slight problem, DJ is on a softer confounded tyre, and that's a hit in the left rear. I'm not sure what all that was about, but anyway, cutting on to the start of lap 14, here comes the Beamer up the inside into turn 1. Just way more grip than us on what I think is the medium tyre. I'm not too sure, so don't quote me on that. It's either medium or soft, one or the other. But he gets through up into P4, so we go back down to P5, cutting on a bit later. Now we got Side Dog trying to attack us for P4. One of the guys that was in the top 3 coming to make his final pit stop, so we did get back up into P4 momentarily, but Side Dog takes that back off us. Bit reminiscent of the Nations Cup season opener, to be honest, where it was us two battling for the win. Not quite for the victory this time, but he still gets ahead of us again, so maybe one day we'll be able to get him back. But cutting on to lap 17, we got the Nissan trying to look up there inside at you. Hang on, that's not Nissan, that's a Honda. What am I on about? He gets the job done. Little tap in the left rear from us there, just to let him know I wasn't too impressed with being run out wide there. And this is definitely going to be an intense final lap. If we want to hang on to this 5th position, we're really going to have to work for this. So here we go. Final lap of the race. Here comes the Honda on our outside. Down to turn 1. We're going to try and brake as late as we can to maintain P5. We've gone a little bit deep though, so we're going to have to slow up in the middle of the centre S, as that has just compromised our run royally through there. And now the Honda is going to have a perfect opportunity to try and get this done. We're going to defend to the inside as long as we can, but he switches and gets us back up the inside at the last minute. Runs us a little bit wide. Oh, well, no, he doesn't run us wide there, really. That was just a little bit of contact. But that's us back down to P6. We're going to try and fight back if we can. I want this top 5. He goes a little bit deep running the defensive line. We sneak back under him there. Bit of door-to-door contact. Once again, this is great racing all the same, though. We get back up the inside, and that is back up into the top 5. And, man, oh man, this was really tense at the time. Not going to lie. It almost feels as tense recording this 24 hours, or almost 24 hours later, as what it did when I was doing this live. But anyway, final corner coming up now. We should be able to hang on to P5. We're going to defend to the inside, park it in the middle of the road, try and make sure that he can't get past us, and I think we should be safe now. I don't think the Honda's going to be able to out-drag us up to the line. Noble wins round 3 here at Brazil from DJ Zeus, Metal Gear and Side Dog. That's your top 4, but who's going to round out the top 5, ourselves or the Honda? I think we're just going to hang on, and we do. Oh man, that was a tough race, that one, not going to lie. Real good fun all the same, but very bloody stressful. But in the end, we come home for P5, and I think that's actually going to be the biggest chunk of points I've ever brought home as well. And it is 269 points. Very solid result there, so I am happy. I will take that. But there we go, guys. That has been round 3 for the Nations Cup and Manufacturer Series respectively. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Doing fairly well in the domestic and regional rankings at the moment, in the top 10 on all sides, so we're doing pretty well for ourselves at the moment. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed, remember to leave a like, subscribe, stay tuned for plenty more. Doing pretty well in the manufacturer ranking as well, so that's pretty sweet. But until my next video, I'll catch you all next time. Have a good one.